So what I'm doing is using the stuff that I got in my crabitat isolation tank that I'm not using for this video purposes. So making bubble pools is fairly simple. You get bowls like this. Make sure it's this deep, you know. Because when hermit crabs go in there, they can soak pretty much almost their body and get their shallow water in there. Of course, one's gonna be for fresh water, and one's gonna be for salt water. So it's fairly simple. This is a 100-gallon air pump right here. And you're gonna take your tubing, you connect your tubing, you'll tee it off right here, and you put each air stone and each pool. So that's how it works. It's pretty much simple. You also put like suction cup tube holders on the side of the glass so they can stick. So it's pretty much easy. But make sure you can't really use bubblers in shallow pools. If pools are like this deep, you can't use bubblers because it's too shallow. But using bubblers is also good for humidity, because humidity will go up. Because I'm using bubblers in the main crabitat right now, and I usually turn the bubbles on at night. I don't keep it on all the time. So your crabs really like having bubbler pools because they like to play with the bubbles. They like to fully submerge in the deep water, and it's good to regulate their salinity and their shell water and everything. So yeah, you take these pools, you put each air stone in here. I'm trying to do everything with one hand. Yeah, you put each stone there, and you put the suction cup holders, and you hold the tubes in place on the side of your tank. And you can use a T, or you can use valves, because see, this is a 4-way valve to divide 4 tubings, one tubing into 4. So you can also use it for 2 tubes, but you just have to twist off the 2 valves that you're not using, just keep the 2 valves open for the 2 tubes that you're going to put right there. But you can also use a T. But I think valves kind of work better because air pressure could come out one tube and it's less pressure on the other side. So you have to kind of regulate the pressure by closing off a little bit or opening up a little bit more. So yeah, it's a little bit touch and go on that. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. You can also use 2 air pumps for each. You can use 2 air pumps for each air stone. Like you use 2 10-gallon air pumps, one for this stone, one for that stone, and that can also work. That can also work on this. But it was my personal preference that I use high pressure air pumps because they can get the pressure on each side very good. And I prefer to do it the valve way. So that's my personal preference. You can get 2 10-gallon air pumps, and you could get 1 air pump per air stone. So this is how you do bubble pools.